Hi there everyone. So today I'm going to show you this cute little, I think it's called a easel card. Well, it has a 3x3 post-it note stuck to it, a little pad of post-it note, and then the post-it note sort of holds up the easel. And if you're sending it in the mail, it sends flat or pretty flat. So let's get started. This is part of my February class, online class, and it was a product-based class where I used the Simply Succulents stamp set and dies. So these are the dies that come with it. And I am filming during lunchtime, so there might be some background noise. And I also have 3 dogs here today, so we'll see what we can do, and hopefully we can make it through this video without too much disruption. Okay, so let's get started. In your kit, you will have the die cuts, but of course there's no stamped image. So if you don't have the stamped image, what you can do is put aside the pieces, and you can get, you can use DSP. So if you wanted to use DSP, and I'll show you a sample of what I did with another one. This is another one. It's exactly the same idea, except this is DSP that I used. It's the True Love DSP from the new mini catalog, and I cut this piece. It is 4 by 3 1/4, and I just colored it in and put it on. And then I also did another sample where it's the same DSP, except this time I did a spotlight technique where I cut out a circle, and then I just colored in the circle with my blends, and I popped it up on dimensionals. So if you don't have the stamp set to do the kit, those are a couple of alternatives. So I will put those off to the side so you can sort of see it. Okay, so let's get started. Your card base is, this one is done in Pretty Peacock, and it is 11 by 3 1/2, and it is scored at 5 1/2. It should actually be scored at 2 3/4 as well. So I am just gonna fold this, and I just realized that probably in my kits I forgot to do the second score. So if you have my kit, you're just gonna have to score it at 2 3/4, or basically just fold it into the middle, and then just make sure you either take a bone folder or you scrape your nail across it. Okay, so the next step we're gonna do is we're gonna put our post-it note. This is only like a couple sheets because I didn't have a full pad, but I would put some adhesive on the back and stick that on, and this is what's gonna hold up your card. Because I have a really small stack here, it's not gonna hold up my card, but if you have a regular size pad and you put your regular size pad on, it's gonna hold it up. So the next part we're gonna do, and for this video I'm not gonna color my whole image for you. I'll color a little bit, but I'm sure you don't need to watch me color for 20 minutes. So we're gonna put our white piece on. This is the Wood Planks embossing folder that I used for this piece, and this white piece measures 4 by 3 1/4. And again, if you want to just use DSP for this part, that's the dimensions you would have to cut, 4 3/4. Okay, so then the next part we're gonna do, And I'll show you how this gets all put together. Normally I would put everything together on this piece first and then glue it on. But what you would do is you're gonna put, for this piece here, you're gonna put adhesive on this whole piece. This easel piece. So if you see the layout of it, this is the part, the bottom part, and then you're gonna take this piece here and you're gonna line up the bottom to the bottom of that easel. And then that's it. So you can see how it folds up like that. Okay, so this little shape here, I used our Celebration Oh So Ombre paper for this, and I cut it out using this stamp set bundle. Did I? No, I didn't. Sorry, I did not. I lied. Okay. I actually used the die that's in the Simply Succulents set. This one right here. So that's what I used. Okay, so then we're going to take our image and you're going to color in your image. If you have the stamp set, what you're going to do at home, and I'll show you on this. So when you get a kit at home that is already die cut for you, what I always do is I take the stamp and I ink it up with my Memento Black, and then I take the die piece and I literally just drop it onto my stamp, and then I press. What you can also do is you can use our, oh, what is it called? I'm sorry, I can't think of what it's called, but our Stamparatus, that's right. You can also do it on a Stamparatus if you want to do that. So for my image, so for this one, for my image, I used our blends, and I'll tell you what colors I used. I used a lot. So I used the light and dark seafoam, and this is the mint macaron, the dark and light. And then I also used this is Balmy Blue. I used Pretty Peacock. I used the Highland Heather. I used the light rich razzleberry, I think just for like the little tip here. And then I used crumb cake for the pot. So I used a lot of color. Now, if you haven't used blends before, I'll just show you on the pot how I do it. So on the pot, and I like to sometimes put something underneath when I'm coloring. So for the pot, what I usually do with my blends is I start with the darker color. So I like to start with the darker color. And that's the brush tip. You can also use, oh, well, you know what, on mine my other tip isn't working. That's why I have it taped together. So I'm going to use the dark. Then I'm going to blend with the light. And so I'm going to blend this in. And where the two colors meet is usually when you have to go over it a few times to really blend it. So that's my pot. And so once I'm done, I'm just gonna pop all these up on dimensionals. Pop that up. I stamp my sentiment. The sentiment is from the stamp set, Simply Succulents. And it's this one here, thanks. And this will be for a customer, so I am always in need of thank you gifts and whatnot. And then with the little pieces here, what you can do is you can just cut them in half and just sort of stick them around wherever you want. And then we also have a little butterfly embellishment that you can add afterwards. And then again, we have our bow, and I pre-tie all my bows for my kits, so you can sort of adjust the ends if you want it a little shorter. And there you go. So thank you again for joining me. Hopefully this helps. Like I said, I pop everything up. If you don't have the stamp set, don't worry. You can still make this little project. Just use an alternative. So use DSP or yeah, use DSP. That's the easiest way to do it. So again, thank you for joining me, and happy Tuesday.